Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. You're watching Aaron Limitless Gaming, and today we are resuming The Sims 4 Modern Mansion build, part 4 of 22. For those of you that have returned, welcome back. For everybody that's new, welcome. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to this channel and like the video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below on other stuff you would like to see, and just let me know what you think. And let's get to it. So we're picking off from the outside. We are now on the inside. I wanted to make the kitchen first, just because I always feel like that's kind of one of the most fun rooms to do. So essentially, I really wanted this house to have a huge, kind of commercial grade, but at the same time still homey kitchen. So that was kind of the goal with this one. Obviously they don't make the islands that big, so I used the force command move objects, cheat code to do that, and kind of wanted to do that. Essentially everything in the kitchen is going to be double of everything, just because I feel like a lot of commercial homes, they kind of do that. So, I made essentially 3 sets of islands to make one giant island like you would see in a really nice high-end home like this. And then now I'm kind of just going through figuring out what kind of like clutter-ish kind of stuff I want to get, because obviously when they are filming or, photographing a house like this to make it look beautiful, they take out a lot of the clutter. But I wanted this to actually look like a legitimate home that somebody would actually live in. So that is the reason why I'm adding some of the stuff that I otherwise don't think is the most aesthetically pleasing, but felt like it made it more realistic. The fridges are always the frustrating part for me, because I always feel like how I build, I end up having to put a lot of the appliances in front of the windows, just because I like the way those windows look. So the way to solve this after, if you don't want to obviously see that kind of stuff, is just to put taller like bushes and shrubs, or kind of build like a false wall in between it if you really want to. But usually the tall enough shrubs are usually, more than enough to fit. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, it just comes down to your personal preference. But I just always felt like these bigger windows just looked, for how big of a room it is and how bright you want your kitchen to be, it's kind of like a necessity to have to put it in here. Wanted to add more cabinets just to kind of fill the walls. It was hard to choose where to put the cabinets because I didn't want it to look too busy, but at the same time I felt like for how big the kitchen was, it, obviously didn't look right if the walls weren't, for the most part filled in that kind of area. So you can actually see the sky right now, because I noticed when you are in the full closed in room mode, like in the partial wall, for some reason it shows the ceiling above. Or maybe I might have been because I didn't add the rooftop or the upstairs yet, but I know I do that either in this video or the next one. So just, kind of bear in mind with that, because I obviously am just now noticing it in game when I was playing it. So it's one of those things that it didn't do that in The Sims 3, so I just kind of had to figure out like, oh, I should probably do that because it's going to start to bother me. And yep, as you can see, I'm trying to figure out what to do with the roofs and whatnot until I finally realize, oh, I can just, build the upstairs really quickly and then, put the floor in. So here's me, of course, trying to figure it out. So you can see this is all like legitimate. Everything isn't always perfect when you do these house builds, regardless of what people want you to know and think. Obviously, you just, it's a lot of work to do these. So, you're gonna screw up sometimes, but, it's easy enough to fix it and whatnot. And honestly, as you can see, with it being sped up, it doesn't really take that much time to, do so. And I kind of just threw a floor on just to kind of, be done with it. But yeah, so going back to it though, as you can see, the island can sit like, I think 6 or 8. I can't remember how many chairs I wanted to sit there, but I wanted it to just be something huge, even if it's only, let's say, a couple that are living there, or even somebody that's single. I just want it to look, impressive and all that kind of stuff. So we did that. But yeah, I'm excited to download more custom content, because now how I know how the game works and whatnot, and that it works well with custom content, I'm definitely going to download a lot more, even though I did do a tremendous amount. I want to say like 4,000 or 5,000 individual items. So I'm hoping to like quadruple that just to have more stuff, because it'll make it even more custom, which I feel like this house, I did a pretty good job of trying to get it to get there, but I know I can always do better. But I feel like for this being my first build for YouTube, you know, it's kind of exciting to have it on there like that. So, and it's fun just to kind of sink my teeth back into the franchise and get back into it and kind of like, you know, relearn everything, because I want to say The Sims 1, I put in, gosh, it must have been easily close to 10,000 hours. That's all I did back then. The Sims 2, I maybe put in maybe 30 hours. The Sims 4, I probably got, I think my Origin account says I'd done close to 2,500 hours, so a decent amount. But obviously I had a lot more as an adult to do, so I couldn't just play games all day as much as I would love to sometimes. And then The Sims 4, as I had mentioned in a previous game, I literally turned it on, played it for 5 minutes, didn't like the style before I discovered custom content and never touched it again. So now I'm getting close to, you know, I think 70 hours by the time I filmed this whole house, because it took quite a while. But as you can see now, I'm kind of going through adding more like clutter and just, you know, random houseware stuff that you would need that wouldn't be in the game, which I think kind of complements it nicely. I really wanted like knives on the wall, so I'm gonna have to download that, but I feel like that would look a little bit better. Not that these look bad, having like all of your like cooking utensils, but I couldn't put it over by the stove, which I feel like instinctively would be the smarter place to have it. But just like I guess a real house, you know, you kind of just put stuff where you can, even though somebody buying a house that would be this expensive, you know, would literally have everything perfected to be perfect. But, you know, we're just going to work with what we want. I don't want to switch the whole kitchen. And I really like having the window over the stove. Now you can see I'm trying to play with different hood ranges just to see which one looks the best. I think I liked that one the most, but it obviously blocked the entire window. So I ended up going back to the more simplistic one, which was probably my second choice, but it still came out pretty good. I like the way they look. I need to get more fruit barrels and baskets and containers, stuff like that, spices. But I got a good amount of just like different ones. It's hard to find custom content because not only is there so much from so many talented people, but you also want to make sure it obviously is going to work and that it looks good in the game, and that obviously, most importantly, probably that there isn't any kind of, you know, malware or viruses or anything like that on there. So that can be kind of, you know, mind inducing because you download so much, you don't want to have your game get screwed up by doing that. But I've been really lucky so far. I kind of check it before for all that stuff. So it's, you know, one of those things that you kind of have to do, but it's definitely worth it, I feel. Now at this point, I kind of wanted to have a kind of like a sit-in area in the kitchen. And realistically, people probably won't be in there too often, but I feared like if you had like kids or something and you want to kind of keep an eye on them, they can kind of like, you know, sit there and watch TV or do homework, whatever, while you're, you know, preparing a meal and whatnot. And just because I figured it was such a large space, I might as well utilize that somehow. So I thought it would be cute just to have like a little sit-in area. So as you can see, I was flipping the books around to see what they look like with white backs on them. But then I think I just ended up going to wanting to have something that matched on both sides. But yeah, as you can tell, like the thing was so big, I was like, I need to cut down the space on this because it's still massive. Trying to figure out what kind of doorways I want, if I just want to not have walls there. Trying to brighten up the kitchen because to me it still felt pretty dark, relatively speaking. So it's kind of just more finding what I needed. This house just required so much recessed lighting eventually just to brighten it up because it's so big. And like as you add windows, as you notice, it gets brighter and brighter, but there's only so many windows you can add. But I really do like those lamps, for example, that you see right there. I kind of wish they made those in real life, which I'm sure somebody does. But sometimes I look at this and I'm just like, I wonder where they get these ideas from. If they design them fully, or if it's more kind of like borrowed inspiration or complete, you know, pulled from somewhere like Restoration Hardware, Pottery Barn, or Target, or IKEA, you know, anywhere. So it's always kind of interesting to see those kind of things. Here I wanted to do some kind of collage thing. I'm not super completely content on how it turned out because it was just, I had so many different ideas. Once I started building more of the house, you can see I kind of got more of an idea exactly how I wanted it to be. So maybe I might do a video of like, rehabs and kind of refurbished and, touch-ups of things that I decided to change. But for now, I'm kind of just playing around with how I want it to look. So I kind of went back and forth on delete and add in, enhancing, or making them smaller or bigger, and all that kind of stuff to figure out exactly what I wanted to do, which I think I try to go for more of a kind of like a gallery-ish type style in the end. It's a hard thing with photos. You have to just keep moving them over and over, because once you move one, it can make the whole thing look, not cohesive and look screwed up. So, it's one of those things where it's just like you got to keep playing with it. It is time consuming, but at the end, it really does make that area and that space. So, needless to say, this is sped up 4 times, I believe, for this video. So you can just imagine sitting here trying to like click through everything and pick what to do. So it wasn't the most exciting thing to do, but it did turn out to, obviously make the video and thing a lot better. Making my own shelving, just because of course I like all these bigger pieces of furniture. So it's kind of like your only choice is really to just, add stuff on and kind of make it your own. Plus I feel like when you do that kind of stuff, you kind of guarantee that nobody else is going to have a design quite exactly like yours, which I think is obviously nice too. Going through here, throwing a little rug in just to make it look a little more cozy and homey. I like shag rugs, but I feel like they kind of look a little bit flat here in this game, but it's not too bad. I can't remember if I ended up staying with that. I think I probably did. Baron, hopefully it's not a fire hazard, because I remember in the other games, if you had stuff too close to the fireplace, it could catch on fire. But, since I'm probably only going to maybe play an hour or 2 of this in live mode, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, I'm willing to just let it be like that. We can just pretend. Here I was thinking about making like a little breakfast nook kind of area, but then I kind of thought it was redundant, and space-wise it just didn't have the space, ironically. So I kind of just played around with a few things before settling on making it like a little tiny cozy nook type area. So as you can see, I kind of just switched things here and there and all of that. But yeah, that was pretty much what I think I ended up settling on. I did a few more lighting and things like that. Added a little bit more to the countertops, and that was pretty much finishing up the entire kitchen at this point. This is getting to the tail end, so I guess I will wrap it up here. And I just ask you guys, if you haven't already, to subscribe again. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you want to see more content. I'll keep you updated on social media. Most of it's Aaron Limitless or Aaron Limitless1. Make sure to follow me on all the things. You'll see that at the end of the video. And other than that, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of this video, and I will see you next time. Thank you for following me, and have a good one.